Hi everyone, so many of you, when I do kind of curvy related videos or body image related videos, have asked me to do one regarding skinnier women, and I've always refused because I like to make sure that my videos are kind of from personal experience. So just as how if I'm reviewing something, I'm not going to talk about a product that I haven't actually used, I'm not going to talk about a kind of personal experience that I haven't had, because I just feel like it would kind of be a little bit insincere. But I've had so many requests from so many of you, and I do acknowledge the fact that it's just as important as the other side of the spectrum, which is if you're curvier and how society takes that and how you should feel and that kind of thing. It's just as important, and obviously I'm not skinny, I'm not even slim, I never have been, so I've never really encountered the that side of it where people comment and people kind of can make fun of you and how society tells you should feel about being so slim. I've never encountered that, so it might not be a very helpful video, because as I said, I like to talk from personal experience, and I think that's kind of what makes my videos what they are, and I haven't got too much experience in that kind of department. So I'm just going to kind of talk to you about my opinions and things that I've had people on here tell me. So I am going to use some of your info. The first thing is, I know on a couple of videos people said that they felt like I was dissing or picking on skinny women, and I don't know, I even feel like guilty saying the word skinny women on here because I feel like that might offend someone. But I'm just going to say that because I just mean, you know, slim women. There is such a thing. Just like some women are curvier and some women are bigger, some women are skinnier and they just are naturally, and also some women are not naturally. Some women like to make themselves be super skinny because that's how they want to look, and that's fine if that works for them too. But I kind of feel bad that people would think that I hate skinny women or that I'm picking on them just because I'm not, because that's not the case at all. 100% that's not the case. And while I'm not desperate to be skinny, I also acknowledge the fact that you need to like, if not love, the body that you've got. And if the body that you've got is naturally slim, then that is great, and you should really embrace that, and you should learn to love that. And you shouldn't let anyone make you feel like less of a woman because you are not curvy. And I think in today's society as well, whereas we did go through a phase of everyone wanting to be super skinny and it being very hard if you were curvy, I think now it's kind of gone a little bit the other way. And if you open a magazine, they'll be talking about how great all these celebrities who have got, you know, bigger bums and hips and that kind of thing, how great they look, but not really acknowledging the fact that some celebrities and some women are just naturally skinny. And just because you're skinny, it doesn't mean that you've got an eating disorder, it doesn't mean that you don't eat, and it doesn't mean that you're not sexy, and it doesn't mean that you're not a proper woman. And I know that a lot of people in my Real Women Have Curves video got offended, but when I put Real Women Have Curves, the real part was for a reason. And the reason was, I meant real as in not celebrities. And yes, I'm aware that celebrities are real people, but I just meant non-celebrity women. I didn't mean that if you aren't curvy, you're not a real woman, because that's completely ridiculous. Everyone's real, you know, like we're all real people. It doesn't make the slightest bit of difference. And I know that if you are someone who has been slim all your life, you will struggle with comments like people asking you if you're anorexic, and people telling you should eat more, and kind of little silly comments that people make about the fact that, like, if you're flat chested, for example, which sometimes is like quite common if you are slim, you'll get little comments about that. And people just like to pick at things, basically, just like someone would like to tell someone that they're a bit chunky. People think that it's completely inoffensive to tell someone that they're too skinny. And what's the difference between telling someone that they're too chubby and telling someone that they're too skinny? It's equally offensive. And the concept that you should be allowed to tell anyone anything about their body at all is completely ridiculous, because at the end of the day, it's their body. They should be allowed to do whatever they want with it. Obviously, if they're not being healthy and that kind of thing, then that's something slightly different. But if you're someone who is slim naturally and you face comments like this all the time, it must be really, really, really difficult and really discouraging and really hard, because just like if you were struggling with your weight and you couldn't just, you know, magically zap away your weight problems, you can't just magically turn into someone who's a little bit curvier. It doesn't work like that. And every body shape is amazing if you want it to be. If you believe it and if you feel good in whatever shape you are, whether you're a size 6 or a size 20, that's great for you. And I know that we all struggle with our own personal demons when it comes to body image and weight, and it's a little bit hard to kind of go to a one-size-fits-all type of approach to it, because it doesn't really work like that. And you need to acknowledge the fact that there are always going to be people who are going to have something to say, and I am not the kind of I'm not the right person to be able to sit here and tell you that it's, you know, don't take any notice and completely ignore them. They don't know what they're talking about. They just wish they were slim, because it doesn't. I don't believe in that. I don't think that if someone tells you that you're a little bit chubby, it's because they wish they looked like you. Obviously, jealousy sometimes comes into it, but I don't think that's the majority of cases. And I think that if you have had to put up with people asking you if you've got an eating disorder when in fact you're perfectly healthy, that's just as discouraging and destructive as someone telling you that you're, you know, a little bit on the hefty side. It's just as bad and it's just as wrong, and it will leave you with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder when it comes to your body. And why should it? There is no point in you feeling bad about anything like that, and you feeling bad about your size and your shape just because you're naturally skinny. And I know that a lot of the time, especially like with celebrities, you'll have really slim celebrities like Alexa Chung, for example, has been in the paper this week about it, and they'll kind of slate her and suggest that she's got an eating disorder, when in fact some people are just naturally slim, and that's fine. And as I said at the beginning, some people are not naturally slim, but they want to be and they work at it. And if that's how they feel confident, then it's no one else's business to kind of tell them that they're too skinny or too, you know, don't eat enough or whatever it is. It's no one else's business. And I know that we're all guilty of seeing someone on TV or something and thinking, God, they're thin. But then you have to sort of catch yourself and think, well, if they feel good about it, that's fine. That's their choice, and they should be proud and celebrate the fact that they feel fine about that. And we should feel happy for them that they feel fine like that, because it's amazing if you've got that kind of confidence. So what I'm trying to tell you, what I'm here to tell you, is that I am really, really sorry if you have had to struggle with that kind of thing. If you are a young girl, or even, you know, like a grown woman who has always been naturally slim and has had to deal with that kind of concept of society where you're obviously unhealthy or you've got an eating disorder or anything like that, it must be really, really horrible. And as I said, I personally don't have that kind of experience. I don't know how it works, I don't know what it feels like, but I do know what it feels like on the other side, and it's not nice. And we're all the same, we're all women, and I think that it's just as bad to do it that way around. So that's something that you might want to think about when you're making comments like that, and when you're kind of judging people because of that, because it's just not true. And at the end of the day, it's no one else's business to be commenting on anything, and especially not on someone's weight, because it is such a serious issue. And I think that whether you're skinny or curvy or big or small or short or tall or whatever it is, as long as you're happy, then everyone else needs to be happy too. And I know it's really hard to say, oh, just don't take any notice of them. It's, you know, it's harder to do. But if you just try and do that, then I think it will eventually really, really help you, because you can't change your body. You can try as much as you like, but you can't change it, and there'll come a point where you'll just have to be able to accept it. And that's a really, really important thing that we need to all learn how to do, whether we're skinny or not. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you if you're in this situation, I hope that, you know, it means something to you that I've kind of discussed this, because as I said, it's not really my usual topic because I don't really know much about it. It's just kind of my input, and if any of you have got any experiences or anything like that that you'd like to share, then definitely put those in the comments below. I'm sure it'll help so many people, and I'm sure that so many of you out there are more knowledgeable about this subject than I am, because as I said, I've not had to deal with that side of the spectrum. So I hope you'll have a great weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.